DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax.
Hi everybody, how you doing? We are DreamWeavers StarTrax. Remember, DreamWeavers run on imagination, ROI, helping the world one artist, one story at a time. And we have a great storyteller with us today, Miss MeganWialliams, and your professional name is? Mua. Is she gorgeous or what? 17-year-old phenom, DJ, singer-songwriter. She DJs at some very prominent venues in Las Vegas. So if you come to Vegas, hit me up. I'll tell you where. My name is Karen Zai. I'm a voice teacher, singer-songwriter, and my amazing co-host is my husband. He made a face. My husband, Ren Zai. He's an actor, acting coach, filmmaker, songwriter, composer, playwright. What doesn't he do? Just saying. So we're going to get started with a little bit of...
What we're going to look for today at this point, we're going to find out a little more about Megan because she is amazing. You saw some of the pictures. You're going to see more work. She 16 when you were on the video of your first song?
I was 15 years old.
15 when you wrote it?
I didn't even know that. And she's a client.
Yeah, so you'll see in the next section, so make sure you hang in there. Take a look at this cool video she did on her song. I mean, amazing writer, wonderful musician. You've also played in orchestras, right?
Yeah, I'm so
and technically savvy. DJing is very technical nowadays. So
and
we get that.
Smart. So we're going to ask the beautiful Mua, we're going to ask her some questions about her history. How did she get so successful by 17? So how did you start?
Well, it started when I started playing piano when I was like 5 years old. So that's like the first like music thing that I ever did. And then I started singing when I was 14, and I started taking lessons, and then I started performing a lot, and it really became my passion, and I realized that music was what I wanted to do. And then eventually, once I was performing with singing, it turned into DJing, and so now I just do both around town.
Now, how old were you when you decided that this was your passion, Megan? You had to do it.
I was 15 years old. I remember that's when I started really like performing every weekend. Like I really decided like this is what I want to do for sure.
So at 15 you started performing. Ooh, I like this. Wrote a song, did a video of it. Somewhere out in the middle of the desert, which is really cool, the location she's got. You got to see that.
It was fun.
They have an acoustic piano out there. I'm going to ask her after the show how they got that piano out there. That's just saying something. So you've auditioned for X Factor,
yes,
American Idol, America's Got Talent. And which one? You got pretty far in one of them.
The X Factor.
The X Factor.
Yeah.
And you know, I asked her if she knew Timmy Thames because he's a DreamWeavers client. He was in the top 4 boys of 2013, I think, the last show. And did you get to see him while you were on that?
I don't remember like specifically, but I remember like the same like everything.
Yeah, he's a cutie boy. Huh? Yeah, he's a cutie boy, just like you. And yes, people, those eyelashes are real. I'm sitting here on the side going,
they actually grow that way.
And of course mine are too. Just saying. So
the other thing is amazing because so many people get into this. You were the first I've met that, okay, I sing, I perform, I write songs. I want to be a DJ. Okay, how did that enter this scene of your life?
Yeah, okay. Well, it really came from my mentor, John. He really just inspired me. He's been a DJ, and he decided one day he realized I loved music. I loved all kinds of genres of music, so he taught me how, and I was on my feet in a couple of days, and I started.
And I think it's real important to we're gonna kind of talk about this just for a second. Okay, so you decided to be a DJ. John hooked you up with some equipment.
Yeah.
Right? She learned the technical part. How long was it? Okay, wait for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is...
Before you had your first gig. And believe me when I say it, this wasn't just somebody's birthday party. Okay.
Well, I actually I DJ'd for one day, and then 2 days after that, I was booked.
What?
Okay, and I'm going to I want to clarify something. First of all, no, it's not because her uncle was working in some big room.
No.
Remember we talked about, and she said she started on piano at 5. That gives her an advantage over a lot of DJs who have never had musicianship. And you went from a percussive type of piano, and what is the other instrument that you play?
I play the viola in orchestra.
Which has no frets, all ears. So
Yeah, it's
her,
very
true,
her
yeah.
musical ears
Yeah.
are off the hook.
There's theory and everything, yeah,
Right.
that helps.
She's great.
So
She's a great
if you want to be a
musician.
DJ, definitely take up some intervals in music. That tends to help
Exactly.
too, because you can hear rhythms and patterns. And
Right.
Yeah.
she has to be able to sight read, know what it looks like, what it says.
Yeah.
So, and you notice on the show, we're getting a lot that when you start 5, 6. Yeah, get in there. If you got some young kids and you wonder if you should start them when, go ahead. You know why it's wonderful at these ages? Because they're learning how to speak a language. They're learning how to do alphabet. They don't think of music like an adult. Well, what makes up these notes?
Yeah.
They think of it as effortlessly as a language.
It's a language.
And so they learn music just like they learn
That's
to
really
speak.
true.
And that's what's amazing.
Because I don't know if you know this, Megan, but one of the reasons that it got in so deep is that because the motor skills part of the brain doesn't really start developing and kick
That's
in
right.
until a kid's 8, the language part of the brain is on full force.
Language, which is the left side of the brain.
Right,
yeah.
so that's one of the reasons that when you hear music, you kind of like, you hear the notes, you know what you're listening to and all
Yeah.
that, right? Because that viola is not a tone-specific instrument. You have to hear
But it is
what
a
note it is.
gorgeous instrument.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Many years ago in '89, I got to write. I started a 45-piece orchestra with just a simple viola, and then I had the melody dissolve into an English horn, which people in the world, it's a very sad horn.
It's very sad.
And then it began to expand into a full string section horn. It was
awesome,
fun.
yeah.
So
So I have one more question, real quick. The Life is Beautiful contest audition. How did that
Yeah.
come about?
Well, it came through E320 Entertainment, which I work a lot with, and they had Life is Beautiful last year had a contest, Music is Beautiful,
And real quick, I'm going to say Life is Beautiful is a huge
Thank you, yeah, 'cause I
festival
know that.
in Las Vegas, like Woodstock or
Yeah.
Lollapalooza or whatever.
oh, how
and
cool.
they had a contest for local artists, and so local artists, they all performed. They came out and signed up, and they performed that first Friday, and they chose a winner. I didn't win, but I got to go. I got to go to the festival and go backstage and meet all the artists, and
Like
then-
Stevie Wonder and Imagine Dragons
Yeah, like,
and
so
Just
many
Saying.
artists. So it was really fun. Yeah.
And this year you auditioned to do Life is Beautiful
Yeah.
at one of the owner's houses.
Yeah.
We were
So there's
working on it,
there's
getting it
a
ready.
private one. Yeah. It was
Those
a
are
private
cool.
audition, so it was fun.
So I think we have a question.
We do actually, yes. What is that question? Here it comes.
And I think
we
who
know
is
this face. Look,
Who
Miss
could this
Desiree.
be? It's Des.
Hello. Okay, so I have a question for Miss Megan. This is from CJ of Cardiff, Wales, and UK. So he says, "Hi, Megan. Who has influenced you most to pursue this singing career, or your singing career?"
I would say it was a mixture of the artists that I love, the artists that I look up to, and honestly just like my family, like the people around me. Like I really just once I realized that music was what I wanted to do, I really like my family's inspired me to like push myself and to go forward.
Right.
So yeah, just the people around me, my friends and family, Corinne.
So who are some of the artists that influence you?
Okay, definitely I love
I know the answer.
I love 90s R&B. I love Whitney Houston,
Yeah.
Destiny's Child, TLC, Aaliyah. I love them.
She's a funky girl.
These
That
people
is
have
true.
great melodic structure. Yeah, that's beautiful. And being an instrumentalist, that would make absolute sense why you would listen to people who could do really great,
Right.
sophisticated melody.
But they're gooey.
Yeah, they
They're
are gooey. Oh,
they
they
can
are.
sing. They don't just sing.
True.
So, fun stuff coming up here. So, I think the next section here, we're going to take a little break. We're going to talk about, okay, in 1 year, I've been a musician, now I'm going to learn, and I write a song. So, Corinne is going to take us through the songwriting and some of the music
singing,
getting out there
and the
and putting
singing.
it together.
Most definitely.
So, we're looking forward to seeing in just a few moments. So, We love you, Star Trackers. Get out there and, hey, work on those dreams.
Hi, my name is MeganWialliams. I'm 16 years old, and I am a singer and a songwriter. The song is called Loving Me, and it was pretty much inspired by a personal breakthrough that I had. It was one of those moments where I just sat back and thought about, who I was, like not only as an artist but as a person, and like what are my goals, like who I want to be, and I pretty much just took my emotions from that, and I wrote a song about it.
Stuck in the gray, I know this isn't who I'm meant to be, but I've chosen today to go down in my history. Goodbye to the this is who you are, what you gonna do, how you gonna say the words I'm telling you, 'cause this is who I am, what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna say the way I want to, 'cause I ain't gonna be anyone but me, even when the world demands it. I'm just tired of being the cutout of the future that you didn't have, the future you want for me. I am loving me, I am loving me, oh.
Hi, Star Trackers. How you doing? I am Karen Zai, voice teacher, singer, songwriting teacher, and I'm with the beautiful Mua, and her name is MeganWialliams, who is a singer-songwriter, DJ at some very prestigious Las Vegas venues. Obviously, we're broadcasting from Las Vegas, and I have to say something. You guys just saw that video. Love your boots.
Thank you.
I have to find out where you got them, but I'll ask you that afterwards. So we're going to talk a little bit about how important is being able to control your voice, and how do you write a song. And we're going to find out what Mua's process is. So two things I'm going to ask you. Obviously, Mua is a client. She's one of my students, my Ren students, and incredible voice. You heard her. I'm going to say, how important is vocal technique and vocal health to you?
Well, vocal technique is so important because it's what sets you apart from other artists. It's what shows how hard you worked, and it shows just, how much you practice, and it really pays off when you do good. Vocal health is very important. I've learned you can't go out all night, and then if you have a show the next day, you can't eat certain things. You have to take care of yourself. It's really important.
So what don't you eat that you really would like to eat before you sing?
You can't drink a lot of soda. You can't have a lot of dairy. You can't have ice cream. The day if you're gonna sing tomorrow, I can't eat ice cream. I can't drink milk. Yeah.
So you have to find alternatives to that, like soy milk or almond milk or coconut or soy ice cream, that kind of stuff. You can still have the goodies, but you just can't have the authentic goodies.
Yeah, the real goodies.
You have to. My producer's saying something to me, and I don't know what she's saying. What?
Her voice on time.
Oh. So.
Yeah, I was really sick a week ago. Literally, no, a couple of days ago, I could not even speak.
She couldn't talk.
Words, we were having a meeting. The words were not coming out of my mouth. I was so sick.
Yeah.
And so it made me realize, you have to take care of yourself.
And what did we do? She had a lesson on Monday. And what did we do on Monday? Because her voice, we had a meeting on Saturday, I think it was. Thank you, Miss Desiree. She's my brain. Without her, I am nothing. So we had a meeting, a pre-production meeting for the show on Saturday. She was kind of talk like this. And she almost canceled her voice lesson. But I said to her, no, you got to come in on Monday so that we can work on vocal therapy. Yes, there is such a thing for damaged, sick, or fatigued voices.
And it worked because I can talk really
Listen to her,
good.
she sounds great. We had her singing. We cut it 10 minutes early, but then have you been like warming up? Because I record the lesson. You've been warming up with it and doing the therapy. And look, her voice is back, people. Find a teacher in your area, a vocal technique teacher, not a vocal performance teacher, not a vocal repertoire teacher. Make sure they know how to fix your voice. Or call me. Because I teach on Skype all over the world, and we'll help you out. The phone number to text the questions to will get to me or my producer, and it'll go to the amazing Miss Nicole, who is my administrator and the boss of me. Just saying. So one of the issues that the beautiful Megan had, and I know this intimately because it is my voice. Megan and I have the exact same voice, which is dramatic first soprano. Well, what does that mean? It means the bottom of your voice, the low part, when you're singing in your chest voice, is big, like a Whitney Houston or Christina Aguilera or Jennifer Hudson. But the top is high, like an Ariana Grande or Mariah Carey. So how do you even that sound out? What did we do, Miss Megan? Because you heard her singing, man. She's killing it. And in the next segment, the media on the next segment, in segment 3, you're going to hear exactly what she does to sing through that stuff. So
Yeah, I had to learn because when I would perform, it would sometimes be difficult when you're anticipating, this like big moment of like the high note, and
you go, oh my God, here comes the high note.
Yeah,
freak out.
You don't really know, you're not prepared, and it's kind of hard. But I learned the right placement. I learned how to do scales to strengthen my upper range. So that's helped me so much, and I'm already getting a lot better. It's getting a lot stronger.
Oh, not a little better, a lot better. She ain't singing, people. She's singing. Let me tell you, especially with the kind of music that she likes to sing, because you have to be able to sing. Because that R&B stuff, they don't play.
Really?
Yeah, they don't play.
Really?
They don't play. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, all of a sudden you're a singer, and you go, oh, I want to write a song. What did you do? How did you do it? How did you decide to write a song, and what was your process?
I really just have to take the ideas and the experiences from my life. You honestly just have to be real, as real as possible. You just have to take things from your own life and figure out how to interpret it to a way for other people to understand.
It's for it to be universal.
Yeah.
Because, music takes us on a ride, because storytellers. By the way, go to akandtheexperts.com, and you'll see an incredible webinar that Ren and I did yesterday about how to be a dynamic storyteller. I almost forgot. So we have an audience question real quick. Here's Des.
Howdy. Okay, so we have a question from Nancy, who's in Sydney, Australia.
Australia? She's getting them from around the world.
Nancy would like to know, are you going to be performing overseas, anywhere in places like Australia or the Philippines?
I am so down to do that. I'm so down.
And she's taking me with her. Me and Ren, we're going.
Yeah, it's a trip. It's a family trip. So that's definitely going to happen in the future. Yes.
So we have to figure out how to make that happen.
Yes.
But
definitely.
we can do that.
Hard work.
Do that. Yes. If she can DJ at her age in Las Vegas, which, believe me, you don't DJ at 17 in Las Vegas, she can get to Australia and England and Germany and all these cool places. So I think we have time for another question.
Yeah.
Because Des is cool. I just threw that at her, and she's
Yes.
so cool. She's making it rock.
All right, so we have another question. Is your goal to be a big-time DJ like Skrillex, Zed, and Deadmau5? This is kind of a two-part question. Have you met any of any of the big DJs, and who inspires you out of the DJs, and why? And that's from Kevin in Las Vegas.
Well, when I DJ, I really like more underground music. So I like future beats, more like chill stuff. Yeah, exactly. But I also have a lot of R&B and hip hop influences in the stuff that I DJ, because obviously I love to sing that. So I really I focus on that kind of music. But from the people I've met, there was one time I DJ'd. I remember someone told me Steve Aoki was at the pool that I was DJing, so that was cool. Personally, I haven't met like a lot of the people that I look up to when it comes to my DJing stuff, but with my singing stuff, a little bit more people, yeah.
Oh, we'll talk about that later. So stay tuned, Star Trackers, Dream Trackers, that too, because next you're going to be talking about with Ren, right? You're going to be talking about your DJing and your storytelling and all the cool stuff. So we'll see you on the flip side. Chaka bra.
Do you not think so far ahead? 'Cause I've been thinking about forever. Heard like hey, yeah, and it hurt like hey.
Hello, Star Trekkers. We are back, DreamWeavers StarTrax, and we're with Miss MeganWialliams. And you saw some of the video, and you got to hear her live. That's her live. That's exactly what you get out of Megan. Amazing stuff going on there. And what we're going to kind of deal with a little bit here, because as when I show up, there's a melody, that's the part you're hearing, and if you're listening to your voice, oh my God, that's such a great sound. That'll get your ears, but what gets the heart is performance. So when you are preparing to perform a story, what do you do besides, obviously you got to master the melody, otherwise it sounds interesting. But I never heard it like that. Ren, did you sing that? Yes. No. So, performance.
Well, I really have to think, when you're preparing beforehand, you just have to make sure you're prepared, like, technically, but when you're in front of an audience, you have to figure out how to connect to the audience, and it's different for every audience, so you have to figure out just how to connect to them, how to tell them your story. You just have to get your point across.
Cool. I personally have a simple solution to connecting with the audience. It's easy. Duct tape. You just wrap yourselves. They're right with you at all times. That's expensive, though. Well, we'll try something else. No. You want to stay connected to an audience. You do it from your heart to their heart. And how do you do that? Every one of you, just like all of us, if I'm having a tough day, Corinne comes home and she can feel it. I don't have to say a word. Because if I'm feeling it, you walk in a room, you go, oh, you okay?
Yeah.
And especially with family and stuff, it's like, bam.
Yeah.
The magic of an audience, for those of you who want to understand when she's doing what she's doing, if you get inside the story and you live the story and feel it is real, that audience will always feel it is real. And 2 years of doing that 7 times a day, I found that to be absolutely true 100% of the time. So you can actually bank on trying that one. So that kind of works, and you see, and not that, but no way did I have a voice like this one here, or the ears she has. God, you have such a great pitch here.
Thank you.
So that's kind of fun dealing with that. So when you're in the audiences, what are some of the things audiences have told you?
Through my performance, like after
yeah,
my
like
performance?
you're performing or something, or they said something, or I know what. Everybody's, at least at a certain age, everybody's had that performance that you went, and it's a funny story. It ends up being a funny story for the rest of your life. I don't know if you're old enough to have had those yet. Have you had one of those that just kind of, like I was once standing on a stage under a tent, and the whole tent blew over my head.
Gosh.
So there was that at a big state fair, and the audience was like, ah! So I looked at him and I went, now, watch what I'm going to do here. And I got him back from being paranoid because the tent had already gone away to when anything else could do. Long story about the wind.
my
So you
gosh.
have do you have one of those stories?
I don't have like a complete like horrible situation. There's like some moments, like, oh, I didn't hit the big note that, like, was the whole, like, the main thing of the whole show. Like, that's happened, but...
All of you who sing out there, that is really one of the tough psychology.
Yeah. But sometimes people don't really know. I mean, I know.
Yeah.
I don't try to show it, like, physically.
Yeah,
but,
see,
like,
that is important what she just said. Never let them see that you saw your mistake.
yeah, don't do that.
Just move to the next note. There are thousands of notes in a song. Just get to the next one, look cool, and keep moving. So that's a good start on that. And the other important thing is, remember when you're going on stage, that's too late now. You're going on stage, there's an audience. Don't start thinking about your notes or mistakes. Because as soon as you visualize an audience and possible mistakes, you actually take a part of your brain which you need for performance, and your nervousness shows on your face.
Yeah, you can't. It's a certain state of mind. You can't
because you look
think
real
too
calm
hard
out
about
there.
it. Yeah.
It's kind of cool. So do you have any things, affirmations or things that now that you've done enough performance that go, okay, because I've gone through the big note phase, but now I got to get out there. What are some of the things you tell yourself?
Well, I really just have to, I honestly just try 100% to be myself as much as I can.
Okay.
Like, I really just try to be, like, as real as possible. Like, I just want, I pretend like the audience is just, like, my friend or someone I know. And act, like, just be as comfortable as possible. Because that's when I perform the best, you know, when you're comfortable. Because that's how you can really feel it. You can feel your emotions when you're comfortable, when everything's, like, chill, you're fine. So, yeah, I just know that everything's going to be okay whether I mess up or not. And
Cool. Well, she did. What she said, just pay attention there, because you know how you are when you're hanging with your best friend.
Yeah.
And it's like, everything's just chill, cool, fun. You're not worried about, oh, God, I had a bad day. You can tell your friend anything. If you can transform your audience into your friend, you will find that. And remember that. Don't just look at them as individuals or separate. What Megan just did is a very natural technique that allows you to be comfortable with the audience, and they begin to feel a connection with you because you're thinking of them as a friend. Most of us, after a certain age, you walk in a room and you meet strangers, you know if they're being friendly or like, hello.
True.
Oh, gone. So, make them someone that you can like and be friends with, and that is something. Make friends of an audience. It really helps a lot. And she's naturally figured that out, which makes sense considering how much she's done. I train people sometimes for a long time before they figure out what Megan did instantly, so that was kind of cool. A little bit about that song. What was some of the stuff you did in the head with that song and the title of it?
Oh, Loving Me, yeah.
All right, for those who don't know, yeah. So what are some of the things you thought about at that point?
When I was writing it, I mean, that was kind of, I was kind of having, like, an epiphany point, you know, in my mind. Like, I was kind of realizing, like, oh, like, this is my music, like, this is what I want to do. Like, I kind of just have to be myself. Like, I kind of just started figuring things out. So, yeah, that's what inspired that, really.
So, be yourselves. Remember, in the end, it's you who's standing on stage, so you keep that up. And one of the things I'm a little curious about, just real quick here, how does a DJ perform? Because, you know, I've seen DJs and I've watched you, wish I had a little more footage of you, but I've watched you and you just kind of start moving. And so there must be, because that one I don't know, there must be somewhat of a performance skill. How do you figure that one out?
It really is. It's different from what a lot of people think. I mean, honestly, when it comes to DJing, I mean, when you look on stage and you see a DJ and they're, like, jamming out, they're having so much fun, they're dancing, like, it's so much more fun for the audience. Like, you can, like, it's like you're partying with them, you know? It's like you're having fun with them. So
you align with your audience.
Yeah, I try to kind of make it like, we're in this together, you know? Like, let's have fun together. I mean, I really think you just have to enjoy it. And
all right. And that's another one. Do like what you do and enjoy. Okay, we have a question coming up from Miss Megan, and Miss Des has that.
We actually have a couple questions.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to try to go through this to make sure we get everybody answered.
Okay.
So this one's from Logan from California. He wants to know, do you plan on releasing more of your own music? P.S. You're insanely radical.
Wow. Thanks, Logan. Yes, I definitely, if you just follow my SoundCloud, which is CyberMua, I'm definitely going to be posting a lot of more stuff. So
wow,
definitely
very
soon.
Cool.
Coming soon. Very
Enjoy.
soon.
I have an additional question. I'm not sure who this one is from. I don't have a two. Anyways, the question is, as a singer, who do you look up to?
As a singer, I can say one of my biggest inspirations as a singer is Aaliyah. I love her so much. Just tons of 90s R&B artists.
Okay, cool.
Usually female.
And let's see. So, quick question here. As a DJ, there's so many avenues you can take with what is your ultimate goal?
I don't have like a big entire complete plan, but I really like underground music, so I think I'm gonna kind of take the underground route when it comes to my DJing stuff. But I really just want to be able to perform. I want to go on tour eventually. I think that'd be really cool. Like travel, so.
And I love it when people say underground. I always get a picture of the guy with the mask from V. Underground music, and they're wearing that mask. Anyway, Miss Megan, thank you so kindly for coming in today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And you've seen, any of you who want to book, we got the booking information at the bottom. And what we're going to do now is we're going to come back because it's your turn. We've got a lot more questions from you today. And we're going to try to answer as many as we can. We'll see you on the flip side.
DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax.
Hey, welcome back to DreamWeavers StarTrax. We are still here, as you can see, and so with Miss MeganWialliams and Miss Desiree, and of course my greatest friend and wife in the world, Corinne Zai. And we have some questions, but so many questions came in, we had to ask Miss Megan to stay longer so we could answer some of them.
And they're coming from all over the world, people.
Which is kind of cool.
All right.
Invite us to France. I have no problem.
We want to go there. Yeah. Hi, Kevin.
I have a question, and this is actually an in-house question from our newest recruit, Mr. Jacob.
Okay. Okay.
So Jacob would like to know, what piece of advice would you give to people who sing and dance at home and want to take the leap of faith to get started?
Want me to take it?
Don't do it drinking?
Probably not.
No, okay. I'm sorry, it's my nature. Go ahead. I think you should take that one.
All right. Number one, every dream starts with a thought. So you're thinking it, it's there. Say it out loud. Say that you want to do it. You don't even have to tell anybody yet. You can be in your bedroom saying it to yourself. Say it out loud. Once you get comfortable with it, then share it with someone that you trust. It's not necessarily family, because sometimes family, they want to help, but they'll say, "Are you crazy? Get a real job."
That's
So
true. I
don't
was
do
the
that.
youngest of four brothers. Sharing anything with them other than being
Right.
their toy when we had none was no fun.
Your best friend or a teacher or someone that you know is going to encourage you to do it. Once you do that, then take action on it. Take action. Go do a talent show. Go out and karaoke if you're old enough. Start taking lessons. But do something. You could crawl. You could walk. You could run. Doesn't matter. If you keep on moving, you'll make your dream happen.
And a quick thing for those of you, because I know not all of you are in areas where you can train. There are vocal coaches like Corinne and others that actually teach on Skype and with iPhones and stuff. So you can have that level of training from any location on the world.
You can call me. I teach on Skype everywhere. I teach in Paris. I teach in England.
true.
I teach in New York.
You taught in China, too.
Yeah, I teach in Macau and Singapore. And if you need performance training or acting, he's the dude. He teaches on Skype too. Just saying. Numbers at the bottom of the screen.
Next question.
All right, so this is two questions, and it's from Eric here in Las Vegas.
Hi, Eric.
As an upcoming DJ, do you prefer wax records or CDs?
Megan.
Well, I do. Right now when I perform, I usually play on CDJ, so through my computer, but I just recently started DJing with vinyl, so I think it's really fun. I want to start collecting them and getting more into that. So a little bit of both, yeah.
What vinyl, for people who don't know what it is. What does that mean? Some of the
Classic
younger
is
people.
Yes.
how It's a record, so
It's old school. It's what
Old
we
school.
did.
You know, things that, I don't know if
Actual
you've seen
record.
them. They're actually hard. Yeah, they're
That's
kind
how
of.
they started scratching. You couldn't scratch before unless you got a record.
yeah.
The second part to that question is being that you mentioned being on the computer and utilizing most of your DJ skills there. How has that helped you as a DJ?
My computer skill,
No, not necessarily your computer skills, but using the program on your computer to DJ.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a process to learn, and you kind of learn as you go. But I mean, yeah, that's pretty much all DJing is. I mean, there's a lot of technical stuff to it, so you really gotta focus and learn that stuff. So
You know, the software looks a little similar to recording software, but like you have to figure, you can figure like, okay, the audience is dancing and they're dancing at this speed and this many beats, so you can pick your song because does the software kind of determine what those beats are, so you can organize them.
well, every song has like a BPM, so pretty much
Beats per minute.
Yeah, exactly. So it's so when you mix it into other songs, they have to have a close BPM, so you can mix it and change it to make them exactly the
smooth
same.
transition. Got it.
Yeah, so you pretty much make the two songs play exactly the same time on beat at the same time, and you mix the two together.
Segue or
Perfect.
bridge.
That makes sense.
like
So
we
when
were
the
talking
audience,
with
it looks
Amy
like they're going to
yesterday.
just fall down because they really have overdone it. Time for ballads.
Or you guys
So they can lean on each other for a few songs, then back up with the music. No. Okay.
I just actually got another little ping here for Miss Megan. It says, "Hi Megan, this is Olivia from North Carolina. What type of songs do you like to sing?"
So I like to sing. I love a lot of genres of music, but I really love R&B, neo soul, soul music. It is my passion. It is what I love.
And we talked about that
Yeah.
a few weeks ago. We said, okay, so if you're going to write songs and record them, you have to decide what style you want to do. And I asked her a few questions, and she's kind of old school. She likes neo soul, which is soul R&B vocals, like an Angie Stone or Lauryn Hill, or Jill Scott.
Jill Scott.
However, over acoustic instruments.
Yeah.
Right, which acoustic instruments means like a guitar that isn't electric that you don't plug in, like a regular piano like you saw her playing in the desert, or a real drum kit, not electronic drums, or sequenced music that's done on the computer.
And that works. And also something, remember, she picks a style that means something to her heart, and you think, well, I don't know how to sing something. And you can find teachers in the genres that you want. Like if you're going to probably do R&B, the type of movement that it has, an opera coach has a tendency to stay on beat, and R&B has a tendency to be slightly behind the beat. And if you're rock and roller, yeah, of course you're right in front of the beat because you're really in a hurry. But so try to find a coach that understands your style, because if they can train you, you can do any style you want. You just got to find the right people to help you along.
Awesome. Okay, another question for Miss Megan.
What?
How do you compare today's
like it.
DJs with your old school DJs?
Oh, okay. I think a lot of DJs now, obviously, there's a lot of really talented DJs. I mean, just music in general is so different. Electronic music is so different than it was before. So, I think a lot of newer DJs are actually taking a lot of inspiration from classic stuff. A lot of, like, almost every song has a sample from an older song, So I think a lot of newer DJs are actually getting inspiration now from older DJs. I think that's kind of like the new wave, the new thing.
And I notice it, especially because we live in Vegas, DJs are no longer, Bob with the family or in a little bar.
Yeah.
They're playing things the size of civic centers now. So
Yeah.
something has happened to DJ. I remember way back when I heard that Boy George stopped doing music in the 80s and all of those people, then he went and became like a DJ, and they started doing these giant things, and it seems to come over here because it's like being at a concert. It's pretty impressive.
It really is.
So it's
yeah.
evolved a lot from old school.
But you got festivals. Like in Vegas, one of the biggest festivals we have here is called the Electric Daisy Festival. They hold it usually at the Speedway, which for the NASCAR it's incredible. So you can be playing that one day?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Okay, so actually, I have a quick question. So back in my day, and I'm not going to say how old I am. So
25.
Yeah, exactly. DJs used to carry around crates. I know you're probably
I know what you're
really young to remember that, but they used to carry around crates of, as you called it, vinyl and records. And I mean, there would be tons of them, right? So how do you think having the, you know, going through that transition now where they don't do that anymore, and I'm getting more people texting me about you, being that they don't necessarily carry crates anymore, right? And the majority of the music is, you know, it's basically on your computer,
Yeah.
right? So how do you compare the
I
two
think
of that?
it's really different. I remember my mentor was telling me when he was teaching me how to DJ with vinyls, he was telling me people would like hide their crates because they didn't want anyone to play the same music as them. They would they wouldn't show anyone their records. And now, like, obviously, like now, I mean, there's kind of like the same rule, like you don't really play the same thing, but I think it's really, I mean, it's so much more convenient now. You literally can scroll through and play any song you want.
Right on the computer.
Yeah, and I think it takes, I mean, I think it's made it a lot more easy because you don't really have to plan 100% every song, you know? If you have a crate, you have to know what you're gonna do.
That's true.
But that way you can do the personality or energy of the audience.
Yeah,
Plus, you have to grab your
organic.
crates, and on a computer can handle up to 10,000 songs.
Yeah,
it's so much easier to get to than, you know, a van full of records. And see, we live in the desert. It gets over 100. That would mean you'd go out and say, puddles of records. It would be very sad. You'd be emotional forever.
I think another question came in. Am I right?
Another question did come in. This question is Jim from North Carolina. He says, you have a face of an angel. Have you thought of singing songs dealing with gospel music?
What's up, North Carolina?
That is so sweet. Thank you. I mean, yeah, I'm open to like every genre of music, like singing. So yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's coming back, and I think that kind of, you know, has some influences when it comes to R&B and neo soul. So yeah, definitely.
That all came from gospel.
Yeah,
it all came from
exactly.
Christian music.
So
True.
Awesome.
And
I think
fun
we're
part. And
good
blues.
to go.
Rhythm and blues, R&B. For those younger who may not know.
So sadly, our time has come to an end. We're all sad because we're having a ball. We don't want to stop.
We are. Who's
So-
up next week?
Next week, oh my God, you guys, we
got
have
two.
Jazzy Caliente,
Phenomenal.
13,
Mm-hmm.
Ember, 12,
Phenomenal actress and singer.
and the amazing Miss Sophia Alexis.
Kind of
You
a
saw her
bizarre
singing
voice for
beginning
her
here.
age. Yeah.
Yeah, so tune in. Questions for them. They've been DreamWeavers clients forever.
Yeah.
Crazy talented. We love you. Thank you to the beautiful Miss Desiree
Desiree.
Fahey,
Miss MeganWialliams.
Mua, my wonderful co-host.
Okay.
My
I'm a
co-host.
co-host. Hi.
Hey, I'm old. Okay.
That's because I have
And-
more weight than I should have.
And our great engineers, Scotty McCambridge, and our promotions, marketing, and sales team,
Yep.
Jacob Davis, just joined the team. Love you guys. See you next week.
See you, Star Trekkers.
Bye.
DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax.